Have you ever noticed that the people who seem the calmest in life aren't always the ones with the easiest lives? Sometimes they're simply the ones who learned an important lesson before everyone else. Many years ago, in a quiet little town, there lived an old clockmaker named Samuel. His shop wasn't the biggest, it wasn't the fanciest, but people traveled from miles away to have him repair their clocks. One afternoon, a young apprentice asked him a question. "How do you fix so many broken clocks without ever looking frustrated?" Samuel smiled but didn't answer. Instead, he picked up an old grandfather clock that had stopped working years before. "It doesn't matter how complicated something looks," he said. "You never try to fix the whole clock at once." He carefully removed the back panel. Then he pointed to hundreds of tiny gears. "If I stare at everything that's broken," he explained, "I'll feel overwhelmed. So I fix one gear, then another, and eventually the entire clock begins to move again." The apprentice nodded, but he didn't fully understand. Several months later, life gave him a lesson he would never forget. His father became ill. Bills began to pile up. His plans for the future suddenly disappeared. Every problem seemed to arrive at the same time. He stopped sleeping well. He stopped smiling. One evening, he walked into Samuel's workshop looking exhausted. "I don't know what to do anymore," he admitted. "My whole life feels broken." Samuel quietly placed an unfinished clock on the table. "Tell me," he asked, "which gear would you repair first?" The young man looked confused. "I don't know." "Exactly," Samuel replied, "because you're trying to repair the entire clock." He paused before continuing. "What if today your only job was making one phone call? What if tomorrow your only job was filling out one application? What if the day after that your only job was helping your father with dinner?" Life becomes much lighter when you stop carrying every tomorrow at the same time. Those words stayed with the apprentice. The next morning, he didn't solve every problem. He simply made one phone call. The following day, he completed one task he'd been avoiding. A few days later, he organized his finances. Weeks passed. Then months. Little by little, his life became manageable again. Not because his problems disappeared overnight, but because he stopped trying to solve everything at once. Years later, the apprentice became the town's most respected clockmaker. Whenever customers asked how he remained so calm, he smiled and repeated the lesson he had learned long ago. Fix one gear. The story isn't really about clocks. It's about the way many of us live. We worry about next month, next year, and 10 years from now, all while forgetting the only moment we can actually influence, today. Stress often grows when our attention is scattered across problems that don't need today's energy. Peace doesn't always come from having fewer responsibilities. Sometimes it comes from focusing on the next right step. Think about learning a new language. You don't memorize thousands of words in one afternoon. You learn one, then another. Eventually, entire conversations become possible. Think about building trust. It isn't created through one grand gesture. It's built through hundreds of small moments of honesty, reliability, and kindness. The same is true for almost everything meaningful in life. Healthy relationships, strong character, financial stability, confidence. They grow slowly, often unnoticed, until one day you realize how far you've come. It's tempting to compare yourself with people who seem further ahead. But every person has their own journey. Some are planting seeds. Some are watering them. Others are finally enjoying the harvest after years of quiet effort. Comparing different seasons only steals your joy. Instead, focus on your next step, not your entire staircase. Because every remarkable achievement, every meaningful relationship, and every fulfilling life is built exactly the same way, one decision at a time. So if today feels overwhelming, remember the old clockmaker. Don't try to repair the whole clock. Find one gear, give it your full attention. Then tomorrow, find the next one. Eventually, you may look back and realize that what once felt impossible became possible through countless ordinary days filled with small, faithful actions. Thank you for spending these few minutes with me. If this story spoke to you, I'd love to hear from you. What is the one small step you're going to take today? Share it in the comments below. Your answer might encourage someone else who's feeling overwhelmed right now. If you enjoy thoughtful stories that offer timeless life lessons, be sure to subscribe and join us for the next one. Until then, take life one step at a time, be patient with your journey, and remember, even the most complicated clock starts ticking again, one gear at a time.